Well, I was on my way home from work. A 16-year-old girl turned left in front of me on a county road. I swerved. She didn't stop. She hit me, forced me off the road. And I wound up trapped in a burning Jeep for about 20 minutes. Next thing I knew, I was waking up in a hospital bed. It was 5.5 weeks later. I'd lost both of my legs as a result of the fire. I had sustained 4th-degree burns, which is basically a complete burn, to my lower legs, and my right thigh had 3rd-degree burns. The skin was basically gone. At that point, in addition to those injuries, my lungs were failing, my kidneys were failing. I was not in a stable condition. My body was very, very ill. Infections throughout the entire system, and the only way that they could get that under control was to close the wound, and to close it with natural skin as opposed to gauze or anything that would be removed and reopen the wound, to basically close all the paths of infection and allow the tissue that was viable to start to recover. When I first woke up, I really thought that my life was over. And I went through a big struggling period of trying to hold on to the life that I had before the accident occurred. But what's actually happened is I've gone into a whole new perspective, I guess, on life. Honestly, there are parts of my life that are far more rewarding than what my life was before. In addition to that, I'm able to get around the community on my own. I walk everywhere I go. I live independently. I drive a car. I handle my grocery shopping. I handle all the day-to-day activities that everybody else does. Really, the last act that a tissue donor does is quite possibly to save someone else's life. The infections that I had were killing me. I would not have survived if they hadn't had tissue available to graft onto my legs to cover those wounds. I would have died within probably days because they could not get those infections under control without closing off those wounds. And I've met people who have sight now because of cornea donations that have been done. Tissue donors give other people a chance to lead full lives and live longer lives as their very last act on this earth.